Hi everyone, welcome back to Fatima and Ola Fashion Workshop. We already got to work. Today we would like to show you how to make self-welt, or what we call piping, for a box cushion. So first we're going to start by putting our fabric diagonally. We chose this fabric with all the stripes just so you'll be able to notice how it's placed diagonally and not straight. You could do straight as well, but usually it looks better this way. And if you're trying to keep like a straight stripe, then you can go straight and place your fabric straight and then cut the line. So what we're doing now is we are measuring before cutting, obviously. So we straighten the edge of the fabric and then start measuring usually 1.5 up to 2 inches from one line to the other. This is where we do the cutting because this is what matches with our piping. Usually this is like the recommended measuring, but you could go bigger or smaller based on the actual welt that you have. So you're trying to match that. We measured ours and this is what goes with it. So as you can see, now we're cutting. What we would recommend is measuring your box cushion all around and then add a couple extra inches, probably like 4. And then measure here how long are all the stripes that you are cutting. So we need about 3, and they're like 40 inches long or 50 maybe. But this is just a demonstration. So basically you cut as much as you need. Don't go too crazy, just measure before to make sure that you're not wasting the fabric. See how they're all even. This is the last one that we're cutting. Okay, back to the next step. What you're gonna do is measure your box cushion. This is ours. We've already pre-cut it on the measurements that we had. Now we are measuring it. It's about 81 inches total. This measurement is gonna be needed to measure the piping. That's what we're doing now. You have a 1.25 inch welt or cord piping. Got a lot of names. Yeah, we just measured that. So this is what we're going to use to go around one side of our box cushion. And now we're going to put the 2 ends together. And use this tape to keep it in place. Just so we know this is our total length of the piping. We're going to show you the next step. Okay, next step, as we measured before, our final length of the piping has to be 81 inches. Obviously there's no fabric wide enough for that, so the strips that we cut before previously, now we're going to have to put together. See how we went here. They have to create a straight line, like all the edges have to match, and then we're gonna sew, and we'll show you how it looks later. We just want to have the most clean seam out there and like a finished look, because it's gonna be eventually somewhere around the cushion and you want it to look nice. Okay, so here's how it looks. This is like the finished seam. Okay, now we're gonna start lacing the fabric on the bottom and our welting on top. Just covering it. See how we went probably ½ inch bigger, just so we have that enough space, because then this has to be attached to the cushion. So when you do the welting, you definitely have to leave some extra fabric there, just they'll be attached to the cushion. And you want to go as close as possible and make sure that you're using the right foot for this. And that's how it looks. So you have enough room here to attach it together with the cushion, or if you're doing upholstery, this is like the right amount of space that you need to place more staples. So that's a pretty little secret that will help along the way. If this is too small, eventually you won't be able to stitch it, but then if it's too big, it's gonna look bad when you have the finished product. So you just want to make sure that it's a reasonable amount of fabric, not too much. Just try to go closer to the edge as possible so this looks neat and tight. Okay, just wanted to show you real quick how we put the two pieces together. We're now at the very bottom of it. So what we did is we folded. Okay, so we stitch one part, and then this is like the other side. We folded that, and this is when we're gonna put the two pieces together. I'll make sure that you'll be able to see that for a nice finish. You don't have to glue or anything like that. I know there's like crazy options out there, but just a simple stitch will do. And before that you do a fold, so it's like a clean edge. There you go. Okay, now next step, going to the serger. These are the finished edges of the extra fabric. You want to make sure that you serge that just so the fabric doesn't fray. It's for a nicer, cleaner, better look. And also this helps a lot when you try to remove the covers and wash the box cushion. Keeping all the extra fabric serged, it's going to prevent it from fraying from several wash it and make your piece more long lasting than usual. Back to our sewing machine. Now we're gonna place the piping around the corners of our box cushion. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start with the part where the two pieces are together, if you could see that. We're not gonna go all the way to the corner of the bag, but we're gonna go right on closer to the edge and start from there, because if we go in the corner, that's not gonna look good and it's gonna come really thick, so you don't want that. So we're starting at this edge. Make sure that this is going to be the back side of your box cushion, right where the zipper goes, just so we want to avoid showing this to the front of our cushion. This is very important. I mean, it's not a big deal if it's in front, but again, for a better look, you definitely want to somehow hide that in a place that it's not going to be as visible as the front is all the time. So you want to go like the serge edge is going to be right on the edge of the fabric. You don't want to leave any extra here, because then the cushion would be smaller than your actual measurement. So you want to make sure that you do that. Just going to go very slowly, trying to get to the corner and show you a little trick there. Okay, what you're gonna do is do a little trimming on each side to release the pressure of the fabric, And then that's gonna make it easier for the piping to go around the edge on a curve. That really helps. You wanna do that before you get there. And then slowly press with one hand and then stitch with the other, following that curve. Just slowly. It is a little tricky, but once you get to it and you keep doing it for the other corners, you'll get better at it. Just slowly. You'll see how we're a little further from the edge here, so we're not right at the corner. And then we go back to our usual distance alongside the cushion. And we're going to repeat the process for all 3 other corners. And this is the final product. This is a box cushion that we were showing you before. It was actually goes on a chair that we made a slip cover for. As you see, we try to match all the lines and the stripe. And here's a closer look to the welt or piping that we just did. It looks nice and firm with a cushion.